Hey everybody, you need legal help but you're worried about the cost? You are in the right place. Today we're going to talk about 5 ways that you can get a lawyer to help you for free. That's right, free. Let's dive in. First up, legal aid organizations. These organizations provide free assistance to people in low-income situations or in vulnerable situations. Depending on your location, you might find an organization that helps with anything from housing disputes to family law matters. Now, to qualify, you're going to have to meet certain income requirements. But if you're struggling financially, this is a fantastic option. You can look up legal aid organizations in your city with a quick Google search. Now, there's some advantages and disadvantages to using legal aid organizations. One of the biggest advantages is that your lawyer is likely to have experience with your kind of issue. One of the biggest disadvantages is that you probably will not be able to choose the lawyer with whom you work. Tip number 2, pro bono programs. These are programs where lawyers volunteer their time to help others who can't afford attorneys. A little known secret in the community is that many law firms require their lawyers to provide pro bono legal services. And some states ask lawyers to report the amount of pro bono legal services that they've provided in a given year. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to using pro bono lawyers. One of the biggest advantages is that the lawyer who's assisting you is purposely assisting you for no charge. So the lawyer is likely to have the right mindset to help someone in your situation. One of the biggest disadvantages is that you don't always know why a lawyer is providing pro bono legal services. Sometimes the lawyer is providing pro bono services out of the kindness of his or her heart. But sometimes the lawyer is providing pro bono legal services in order to obtain experience in a particular area of the law, which means you're going to be working with a lawyer who does not have a lot of experience, and sometimes that can be problematic. You can usually find pro bono programs through law schools, referral services, and other organizations that provide that kind of assistance. Tip number 3, law school clinics. Another great resource is law school clinics. Many law schools have clinics where law students, supervised by attorneys, provide services for people in the community. These clinics handle real cases, and they're a great opportunity for students to gain experience while helping people in the community. As always, there are advantages and disadvantages to using law school clinics. One of the biggest advantages is that if a clinic takes your case, then it's likely that someone within the clinic has experience with a case like yours. One of the biggest disadvantages is that you're not likely to be able to pick the person who provides the representation for you. One of the advantages to using a for-profit or paid lawyer, as some people call them, is that you have the ability to choose the lawyer that you want to pay. Tip number 4, public defender's offices for criminal defense cases. If you're dealing with a criminal case and you can't afford a lawyer can be appointed for you. You're entitled to a public defender. Public defenders are government-appointed attorneys who represent people who cannot afford an attorney. Public defenders often get a bad rap in the community. While public defenders often have heavy caseloads, they are experienced attorneys dedicated to defending their clients' rights. If you qualify, the court will often appoint one for you automatically. There are several advantages and disadvantages to choosing a public defender. One of the biggest advantages is that the people who hire public defenders typically do a good job of making sure that that public defender has experience in the area of law that they're providing services for. One of the biggest disadvantages is that public defenders have varying workloads, in large part because of the philosophies or the systems that are put in place by the counties who hire them. Here's what I mean. Some counties have a public defender's office where The county hires employees to work for the public defender and restricts the lawyer's ability to assist people or to take cases privately. So that public defender is only providing criminal cases or only providing service in criminal cases for people who are appointed by the court. Other counties choose to provide their public defenders by using a system where they go out and they talk to private attorneys and they allow those private attorneys to take cases that are referred to them by the county. And in those situations, the private attorneys earn a specific amount per case. In either scenario, the result is often that you have overworked attorneys who are being assigned to cases because either the lawyers who are restricted in terms of what they do are getting overloaded with all the cases for the county, or the private lawyers who are getting a specific amount to take a case that's been referred are receiving so little money for that case that they have to take a lot of cases in order to be able to operate their businesses. So what ends up happening is that both people are overloaded. And when you have lawyers who are overloaded, there is an incentive to push clients to accept plea deals. Tip number 5, ask a lawyer. Last but not least, and I must admit that this particular one is not likely to work, but you could ask a lawyer to help you for free. You do not always know what motivates a lawyer. Let me give you an example. Several years ago, I was planning to get board certified in a state, and I looked through the application and I recognized that one of the things that would help with the application process is if you had handled a jury trial. So I was willing to help a client for free if that client were willing to take her case in front of a jury. And in a crazy turn of events, the case actually ended up settling in large part because the opposing counsel knew that I was going to take the case to a jury and not charge the client. Now, how do you ask a lawyer to help you for free? You put together an email, you tell your story in the best way that you can, and you hope for the best. Or you could do a Google search using some term like volunteer legal services in, and then insert your city. That often leads to organizations that provide volunteer legal services. So there you have it. 5 ways to get a lawyer to help you for free. Remember, there's no shame in asking for help if you need it. And it's much smarter than going in there yourself if you're not ready to do that. If you found this video to be helpful, then hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with someone else who needs it.